Brendan Kirby here back with my friend Mike Bottaro, and it's so interesting to learn about your culture, really what Bottaro Law is all about, but it all has to start somewhere. And for you, I want to hear about young Mike. You know, when you were a young lawyer starting out, I know you learned many valuable lessons that you've taken with you.
Yeah, baby lawyer Mike, boy. Oh man, I got my ass kicked.
He was litigating in the delivery room.
It was a lot of butt kicking back then. We didn't have some of the things we now know about, how to treat other people or whatever. But no, seriously, like when I was getting those hard lessons as a young lawyer,
right.
It was okay to make a mistake. I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's okay to have an oversight. Like all that stuff is totally cool, you know? So as a young lawyer, I was very fortunate to always be around people that helped me grow and that were very knowledgeable in their practice area.
The word mentorship is an important one in life. Doesn't matter what area of life, what lane you're in. I've been a mentor to people. I've had people that mentored me. I know the value. Sometimes you need some kind of direction. And we talked about, the compass, refocusing and how that means a lot to you and your team and what it is you do. Let's talk about the fact that you were mentored from a young age. That kind of set you on the path, didn't it?
100%, Brendan. It was like when you have that experience of people that poured into you and gave their most valuable asset, which is their time, and they use that time to help teach something from another generation and the way it was and the way it is, and you get that historical perspective. So very, very blessed to have people in my life when I was a young lawyer that taught a lot about the craft of being a trial lawyer.
Would you be my life coach? I can think of 7 reasons why you might be great.
You look a little like Tony Robbins. Are you sure you don't do any of that?
Have you ever seen us in the same place at the same time? I'll leave it there. But really, let's talk why Bottaro Law. Why you guys? We always think, well, why? That's the key word here. And there are so many reasons why. Let's really get to the core of that.
At Bottaro Injury Lawyers, we really focus on a professional atmosphere, okay? You got to come to work every day and have a positive work environment. So I think that's one of the things that's important for people to know, that we really work intentionally at some of these things, like having this positive work environment. That's so important.
And that kind of reverts back to where we opened up here with regard to the idea of being a mentor. If you've created this environment, it's going to allow people to thrive. And like we talked about earlier, you're going to give people the support they need to continue to grow.
As a young lawyer going to court, right, you can see things. You get to hear things and see things. So when you're going to court as a young lawyer, or you're going to arbitration as a young lawyer, and you're hearing about the word preparation, I think the word preparation is maybe the number one word for any young lawyer. Are you prepared? And only you can answer that question.
Right.
Nobody else can answer that question. In your heart of hearts, did you mail this in, or are you prepared? And when you go to court, or you go to an arbitration, or you're working on a case for your client, you can tell, and you know in your heart if you're prepared. And I had a lawyer teach me about preparation, and he said, Mike, you do not go into the arena without being ready to fight. Get prepared before you enter that arena.
And if you think about all the greats within their respective fields, whether it's sports, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, the best, they're always prepared. They have the work ethic, don't they?
TB12, always is prepared, baby. You gotta love that. Come on, let's talk some Tom Brady.
TB12, or how about MB7 right here?
MB7.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my upper thigh. But that's not why we're here. There are so many things here that connect. The learning, the mentorship. You're giving your team the resources they need to succeed. You mentioned to me, the fact that you have lunch and learns. You're giving people the tools they need, the books. You're setting the table for them, aren't you?
Yeah, so I think servant leadership is all about doing that, right? You want to give your team the autonomy and the environment to go kick some butt. You want to teach them and have a good culture and environment in place, really good guidelines, so that they can go and do it and they can win, and you give them the resources to win. You make sure the money's there, make sure the expertise is there, make sure the legal system, we're 100% paperless, we always have been. have state-of-the-art legal CRM. We're all into AI, and where we're headed in this industry is technology, but there's always a people part of this, and that's really important.
You don't want to lose sight of that, and I know that you don't. I want to learn more, about those lunch and learns. What are people taking away from those? First of all, I love food. What's not to love? Come on.
So one of the things that I think people who work at our firm enjoy is when we grow them by doing things like lunch and learns. So at our firm, we do these lunch and learns, which is, of course, a free lunch. Everybody likes a free lunch, right? Do you like a free lunch?
Come on, sign me up, buddy.
Sign you up. Free lunch. But what it is we have somebody with specialized knowledge that comes into the firm, sometimes more than one, that is going to come into the firm during the lunch hour, and they're going to riff, baby. They're going to riff the way you play guitar. They're going to riff, and they're going to talk about their area of expertise. They're going to ask questions. They're going to answer questions from our team. And in that industry, there's such a great way of accelerated growth and learning when it comes to the people back and forth.
There's going to be such a takeaway in an informal setting. Yes, it's relaxed and it's loose, but sometimes those are the best learning environments, aren't they?
You got to be loose, baby. Absolutely.
Make sure you don't get any pastrami on your computer.
You don't want that during the lunch and learn.
No, but it is all about creating and fostering an environment where people can thrive. And I love that you said autonomy, because he's like a human thesaurus right here, but it really is something that is resonant with employees. Yes, they want to be a part of the team, but as the leader here, you want to make sure you manage these personalities in the right way. You may know this person needs this or this person needs that, and if you can identify that and really give them the opportunity to thrive, that's probably the best reward of all.
Patriot Nation, baby. Come on. When we were humming along, Brady and Belichick, what did we have? The Patriot way, right?
That's right.
It wasn't the only way to do things, but it was Belichick's way of doing things. And guess what? There was system, there was structure, but most of all, there was clarity.
Right.
When you played for Belichick, you knew where you stood at all times. And I think that having that clarity and that purpose is so important in an organization that wins, and we win, baby.
I know you do, which I love, but also at the same time, you are the leader, but you also realize there's a lot for you to learn as well. You can learn from the team. Everyone can do it collaboratively, can't they?
All of our best ideas as far as how we handle cases comes internally from our people. And I think it's a real testament to our leadership to listen to those people. Servant leadership. We're serving our people who know best. They're in the trenches. They're fighting for our clients. They're fighting against Goliath. They're fighting against this big insurance company. And they understand when that insurance company makes a move on the chessboard and they tweak something, and now we got to make a move to get them back into checkmate.
I love that. You don't want to flip over the chessboard. You want to put them on their heels, right? Come on.
Right.
Bottaro's coming for you in the best way possible. But I don't like to brag, Mike, but when I was in school, I was excellent at book reports.
Oh.
Really, I was terrific. So I think I would do very well. I want to talk about some of these books you brought here. What's this one all about?
So every year at our law firm, we offer our team a firm book. And it's a book that this year has my favorite number, number 7. Right in it.
I love it.
But it's a famous book, right?
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah. So what we'll do during the year with our law firm book of the year is we offer it free to everybody. And listen, not everybody these days reads paper. So you want to come in, you want to order it on Kindle, you want the audio book, you want to go and do a platform where you're just getting it 2 times the speed, you want to chat GPT it and just get the takeaways on. I don't really care. Right. Okay? But one thing that we all know is that people who read grow. And so I want to be in an environment that encourages that.
We all know that knowledge is power, and you're going to be a better team. You're going to be a more effective unit if you're all on the same page, aren't you?
100%. And so any book that anybody wants, anytime, in any format, I don't even care. But if it's focused on personal injury, if it's focused on personal growth, if it's focused on spirituality, if it's focused at all, I'm going to buy that book if you work at our law firm. And I'm going to encourage that. We want to be a firm that is learning all the time.
So if I want to update my romance novel collection, you can't help there. I'm on my own.
That one we might put up for a vote.
But let's talk about this one as well. Delay, deny, defend. What's this all about?
So this book right here has been in the news recently, but we've been using this book at our law firm as required reading and learning for anybody who gets hired at our law firm.
And the takeaway for people, I think I have a good idea as to what that is, but from your perspective, I mean, what do you hope they will glean from the reading?
I think that this unfortunate situation in New York where this fellow shot the guy from United Health and he had this book referenced, it's a powerful book, okay? And we're not excusing at all what he did for sure, okay? Right. But he referenced that book, and it's interesting because this book is an expose written by a law school professor all about the auto insurance companies. And we call it, this book is really about property and casualty companies and how they operate, which is really in many instances in direct contradiction to all the laws, many of the laws in their industry, and it's just an interesting book that I think everybody should read, for sure.
Absolutely. I can see it now, the Bottaro Book Club. Come on.
We've done it. We've done it.
You really have. I mean, it is so inspiring what it is you do, and I think so many people can learn so many things from this philosophy. And again, I like to say, and I've probably said it too many times, but it is relatable to many different fields. But for you, within this area of focus, is the motivation just always there? Are you always looking for maybe the next book for the team to learn? It's an ongoing process, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when it comes to learning, again, it's something that I think is, everybody wants it in their life, and so why don't we have the environment to do it? Why aren't more law firms doing this stuff? I mean, we've been doing this stuff forever. I don't see, when I talk to other people in other law firms, that they really care about their people to want to grow them and to have this kind of environment, which we really emphasize.
The two words together, why us? I mean, you've answered it and then some. I think your philosophy is tremendous. I think you have such a positive outlook, Mike, and you have such a way about you that it is not only inspiring, but you project this warmth that makes people want to be a part of your team. Again, I'm ready. I can photocopy. What do you need done in the office, buddy? Come on.
I really appreciate that. I think when it comes,
doesn't need me.
I really appreciate that. I think when it comes to a winning team, which is what we strive to be, a lot of it starts with clear communication. And there's an author that we love. We talk about at the firm. Her name is Brene Brown, and one of my favorite quotes is, "Clarity is kind. Not having clarity is unkind." And so with communication, one of the things that we try to do is communicate clearly in very specific, measured ways and have good communication so that we can win as a team.
So many people struggle with that. It really is remarkable, and the fact that you've grasped that, I think, is what makes Bottaro Law so appealing. It's one of the many reasons. And first of all, Mike, thank you for not walking out. Most of my interviewees usually walk out halfway through.
We made it this far.
Always a pleasure, buddy.